Restream. Oh, this is gonna be a long show. It is so hot in here.
Yeah, it's not usually so hot, and it's actually kind of.
We kind of had a
nice
hurricane come
outside.
through and contribute to the humidity, I think. What's going on, guys? Matt here with Carolina Coops, coming to you live with Video Chicken. To my left is Kristen, our co-host, and behind the computer, behind the camera, behind the screen is our wonderful Ingrid, making sure everything sounds and looks good. That is a great intro, isn't it?
Yeah, I love
Isn't it wonderful? I knew it was going to catch on. We're going to go ahead and get
my
started.
Carolina Coops swag is showing.
Yeah, what is this Carolina Coops?
I've been cleaning up.
Is that
my...
embroidered?
Yeah, you bought it for me one time, or made it. Have it made?
I
You
don't.
know, I'm finding in my my cleanup that I do have quite a bit of Carolina Coops swag.
Yeah, a lot of it,
Yeah.
and I probably
And
still
it's
have
very
some.
nice.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's very nice.
like-
Keep it coming.
You're,
Oh yeah, I have to order coffee cups.
oh, how is that going? I can't wait. Oh, I got my
you said
naughty
just
mug
order
again.
coffee cups or whatever, and I'm like, well, how about this one?
And then
no,
what did I say?
want it. You want it more straight, and I like a curvy coffee cup actually.
I like it cylindered. I like
Yeah.
the coffee mug.
And I know
this.
you like big cups, so I'm
you
trying
know-
to get like the capacity that you want.
So yeah, if anybody wants to order a Carolina Coops mug, we're gonna have the logo. The logo you see right, yeah. We're gonna put on the mug. So I'm thinking, my favorite mugs are the ones you get from diners.
Oh, those are curvy.
It depends how you look at things. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. Again, we are coming to you live. Uh-oh, Ingrid's got a
Ingrid?
big uh-oh.
Ingrid?
Yeah, the comments weren't loading, so I want to make sure we're on.
No, we are live, and it's coming, and everyone out there, hope you're having a wonderful Friday. We have made
Thank
it.
you,
Yes,
Matt.
leave those comments. Also, I always forget to ask the things. Please say hi. Please put a comment in there, even if you're not going to say
Fishing
anything.
Matt Ryan.
Even if you're not going to say anything for the rest of the show, just say hi and let us know where you're watching from. We would love that. We'd love to hear from you. So again, we are coming live. It is noon. We have made it halfway through Friday, and can't thank you enough for being here.
And I'm just gonna have to say that it is really hot in here. Usually I am so heat tolerant, being from the South, but my God.
It's not that it's hot. It's humid.
It's
So,
humid.
yes.
so if you see me drinking water a little bit more than usual, or if you see me, let's see, where's my cloth?
if you
like,
see
like
oh God,
he's dripping.
I'm dripping sweat. That means
Yeah.
I'm hydrated, right?
I guess so.
And
but
it's
you're
no
drinking
longer
coffee.
Yeah, of coffee and then straight to vodka. Anyways, so I have not been
It is
briefed yet on what's going on in today's show. I did want to put a little teaser in for next week's show. I hear we have a guest coming up.
Yes, Mark, the Bantam breeder.
Is that his official name?
He might be in an HOA situation, so I don't want to give out his full name.
Of course he is. That's where you and I went and picked up eggs one time, right?
Right.
And he had that particular tree out front that I found out is rare, and I have two at the shop in New York. And
Oh, the ginkgo?
The ginkgo, yeah.
Ah.
That's him, right?
Yeah, I just bought
that's
a little
HOA.
ginkgo, and I'm having a little bit of trouble committing to a spot, knowing it's going to be there 100 years or so.
I guess if I die, burn me up, put me in ginkgo tree.
Yeah.
That sounds good. It's going to be around for 100 years. Alrighty, so next week, so you're going to have, you said his name is Mark.
His name is Mark.
Is Mark. Oh, that's not his real name. Thank you, everyone, saying hi. Let us know where you are watching from. We just love that. We go back through and we look at all the comments, the questions, at least I do. I'm not sure if Ingrid or you guys do, but
Mark is the one that gave us the eggs that we hatched on the show.
with a great success rate.
Right. We set them, we hatched them, and we've had follow-ups regularly showing these chicks. So I think it'll become full circle if we have them on.
Oh, that's a good point. So now, is he going to come into the studio, or are we going to have him on camera?
I don't know yet.
We don't know yet. It's probably too hot to have a third person here on studio. Like when we did Coop Works, it was.
That wasn't as bad. But anyhow, like...
All right, so next week, we're going to have a chicken breeder on the show.
Yeah.
I can't wait. So if you guys have questions about chicken breeding, we don't really talk.
And bantams.
He's a bantam, I would say, a bantam expert.
Yeah.
Aficionado.
Okay.
Enthusiast.
A bantam expert.
And, Ingrid and I both have his bantams, and that has made both of us a bantam enthusiast as well.
Yes.
right, Ingrid?
Gig Harbor. I see someone's from Gig Harbor. That is one of my favorite places in this country. What a beautiful place. We got 2 or 3 coops right in Gig Harbor. It is amazing when, if you can time it right, you look out into the, I think they call it the Sound, where the water's coming in from the ocean, that you can actually have orcas swimming in there. It's just, love Gig Harbor. Love the Pacific Northwest. Even our old buddy Garrett's watching. All right, so what are we doing in today's show? And again, this show is for you guys out there. If you have questions and comments, I think we're going to commit again this week to really focus on that, because especially if next week we're going to have a guest. That was a lot of black writing there.
Ingrid just flashed us a typewritten piece of paper with a lot of info on it.
And I see Mackenzie has not called into the green room yet. Are we not doing this?
I sent her the link.
She might have a lot going on. And we have a guest from our New York shop down today.
Maybe Christy can say hi.
Christy drove all night, and she's right at work.
I know. I saw her. It was so nice. She gave me a hug.
I know. If anybody orders from us, you can thank Christy.
Yes, Christy is the one that processes the orders.
She's so good.
And makes sure that all the bills are paid. Non-authorizes it, but she makes sure they're paid on time. That's what I should say. She helps keep the credit score up.
She's good. She's quite the asset.
Yes.
Okay.
Kiss my... Okay, so Kenzie's watching. Maybe we can skip Mackenzie this week, because I know that...
Yeah, we can have Christy do Mackenzie's spot.
True. We got a lot of people watching from California. I can't wait. Hopefully the next shop, after we're almost done here, maybe opening up our West Coast shop. So, and actually someone already says, how is the production setup going in the North Carolina shop? It is going extremely well. And we are, I think I've probably said this before, we are so close to cutting wood. But here's what's going on, especially this week, because we're getting so close. As we're figuring out the littlest things, even like in shipping, because of the size of this shop, we are able to do things that I have somehow in my mind programmed that'll never be possible. So I almost have to pinch myself and go, oh my gosh, we can actually do this. It just keeps getting better and better. So it is going.
And we're really, I asked this week, you said you're not ready for the tour of the shop, but I think it would be really nice for people to see.
There is going to be a tour of the shop, I promise. Not yet. It's like, you're a realtor. Would you show a house before it's ready to be sold?
In this market, yes.
Well, I'm going to need a towel. I'm sweating like crazy over here, if you don't mind handing over the paper towels. So we, it's going.
These are the same towels we cleaned up chicken poop with last week. Not the same, the same roll, not the same towels.
All right. Oh, there's Mackenzie. All right, so let's see if we can check in with Mackenzie real quick, and then I want to get to all the questions and comments.
Your sweat rags.
Yeah, thank you. West Coast shop. Yes, West Coast shop. We most likely, we almost went to Las Vegas, Nevada to fulfill our West Coast operations, and we decided to focus on here, which just makes sense. And then my dream is to have a West Coast operation. We're going to take everything we've learned here, transfer it over to the West Coast so we can continue to, in this case, the price of the coop will already be extremely affordable, but it's the shipping. Yeah. That's the next thing I want to tackle. And even in Europe, I'm hoping we'll be in Europe in a couple years, setting up a shop there.
So, did you see the comment from Dennis Smart?
No, go ahead.
He's in Texas, and he ordered an American coop, and he can't wait for his September delivery. Hope my old one lasts till then.
Well, Dennis, thank you so much for your business, and I hope it does too, because there's nothing worse than we've had a couple people call and be like, my coop was broken into, one of their homemade coops or their Chinese coop or whatever was annihilated, and they canceled their order because then they didn't have any more chickens because they were waiting on their American coop or whatever Carolina coop they ordered. Mackenzie, how are you doing today?
Why can't I get her audio?
Go ahead and click that.
I did.
And okay, and
No,
Kenzie, I think.
Okay, next
Can you
got
hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we hear you. It looks like the sun's no longer shining in Western New York. Shocker.
I'm on my computer, so I don't know how to operate that. I usually do the show on my phone, and it's not working, and my camera isn't the best on my computer.
Well-
This is very strange.
Okay, good. Well, you look great. Looks good. How is everything going this week up in New York?
Holiday weeks are always a bit weird. I guess I don't need this in my ear either.
Oh, that's right. We had a short week, didn't we? Was this past Monday, 4th of July?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yes.
right.
So we decided that we were going to take advantage of the observance of 4th of July up here. So holiday weeks are always like kind of, you try to cram that whole missed day into everything else. So
Gotcha.
it's just been busy.
Gotcha. All right. Well, do you have any questions for this week? Did you get a lot of crazy questions? Any crazy calls?
Nothing too crazy. It
We're
has
just used
been
to it now
very
is what she's
warm.
saying. I'm sorry,
What?
what's that?
Nothing. It's been super hot here, and we had a couple people call from similar climates. One of the questions was, how do you keep your chickens cool? What's the best thing to give them? What do you do for them?
I think we talked a lot about this last week. I'm not sure where it came up, and that's actually where the idea was sparked to do a geothermal.
But before
Cooling
geothermal,
lines.
you'd want to do some basic stuff like make sure they have access to plenty of water. You can cool your water. I know Ingrid has a way to cool water, and then plenty of areas for them to do a dust bath and maybe really dig down for that cool earth. That's just what I see that my chickens do naturally to keep cool. And shade. Oh my goodness, shade. I've got a mother hen and babies in a pen right now, and I noticed that the afternoon sun was coming in that pen, and they didn't have really any shade just because of the angle of the sun. And I ran over there and put some shade actually on the ground because of the angle of the sun. So just make sure all times a day that they have access to sun, because they're in a coop with a
Access to
full
shade,
roof.
you mean?
Yeah. Sorry, access to shade. There's a full roof on that pen, but it's like the size of a Cali coop. And I just didn't realize that when the sun is setting, it goes straight in from the side. So just make sure all times a day that they have access to shade.
Yes. So may I add to that? And I am way behind on this, but I already actually have another helpful accessory
Oh, yeah.
to help with that exact reason,
Shade?
that exact problem.
Really?
Yep. I met a wonderful lady out of Texas, actually, and she's an inventor of a type of solar shade that you use in RVs. And they would work perfectly on our chicken coops, so that in the summertime, especially when that sun, is setting and it's still stifling hot,
It
and
is,
say you
yeah.
can't free range, you just pull that solar shade down, and it gives them tons of shade. It was like it blocks 90% of the solar heat. There's some stat on it.
That's exactly what I need.
Yes. So we are actually working on the marketing and a fancy name. You know how I am about names. But you could, if anybody out there is like, oh my gosh, I want that now. It's just a matter of just getting it done. The reason why we have not sold them yet is everyone's waiting on me. And I've been obviously
Let's get that done.
swamped. Go
Yeah,
for it. Have at it.
I have a shade because mine doesn't have any tree cover.
Yeah.
So I put that shade cloth on there. And I also give them like cold watermelon that I'll split. And I'll put that out there for them. They love that. So that's very refreshing.
There's
so-
2 more things that you do.
I
Your hops and ice cubes in your.
Oh yeah, I have
Right.
ice cubes in water. So I make sure they always have I have 2 water sources besides just the rain barrel on the water bar. I have another one that's hanging that I put ice in when it gets really hot. And yeah, I have hops and grapes growing for shade.
I love her hops. She's got the most beautiful. Yeah. What's that?
It sounds like the most pampered poultry. It sounds beautiful.
Oh yes. Yeah.
They're
That's
very
Ingrid.
pampered.
That's
Okay.
Ingrid.
So moving on real quick.
But yeah, let's not forget how important it is to have shade and to have a natural. She's got vines, and you can use all sorts of different kinds of vines, but that evaporative property is really what can make the most difference and be absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
So let's not forget that.
Next question is, if I feed my chickens food scraps, what should I stay away from?
Well, food for eggshells, unless they're crushed. Some people say that they should be baked as well.
I don't bake mine.
Yeah, I don't bake mine either. But just make sure they're crushed so they don't start eating their own eggs. Anything really fibrous like celery can get caught in their crop.
So if you're feeding
And
them,
then-
is it okay to feed them celery as long as it's chopped up or no?
I think so, as long
Yeah,
as
I
it,
don't know
because
if they would even eat that.
yeah,
'Cause I
yeah,
would say our
because,
normal
a lot of
answer,
times,
our normal go-to is you can feed them anything as long
yeah,
as it's
really,
not
because
moldy.
I just threw out some stuff that my neighbor gave me. When it's so nice when your neighbors give you food scraps. But you can see, I should have taken a picture. On the ground, there was like a celery stalk, and there was potato skins, and something else they did. They didn't eat avocado rind.
Yeah.
You know, like they seem to know what to eat and what not to eat. The only thing really I would never ever feed them is moldy. It's something really moldy, like moldy bread.
Right. I heard that they're not supposed to eat a lot of bread as it is, so that they don't get sauerkraut. But
I think anything in excess.
I
would be
feed mine
bad.
everything.
Yeah, that reminds me. Someone commented, gosh, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, whatever, years ago. They said, "Oh, you shouldn't be telling people to give them pizza. They're going to get overweight." And I was like, "Well, we are in New York, and pizza's kind of abundant here." But you know,
I don't
here's
know
the
what I
thing:
would do without
chickens.
New York pizza.
What's that?
I don't know what I would do without New York pizza.
Yeah, I know. We definitely live on our pizza. So I think that's a great answer. And the most important thing is do not give them anything moldy.
Right.
Awesome. Any more questions?
I do have one that I actually thought of. How did we come across the hemp bedding? How did that originate?
What's his face?
It was your buddy in
it hot in here?
Winston-Salem, right?
Gosh, I don't remember.
Yeah, you're that guy in Winston-Salem.
Well, no, I remember who we first bought from. How did we first? Oh, yes, absolutely, I remember.
Well,
The
I've
late-
never heard the story.
Well, okay, so, I love, okay, yes. Okay, I love this answer because I am so happy when I can tell people a lot of our, go ahead, I know, I'm,
I don't want you dripping on me.
feel I'm being interrogated here. No, our customers, the answer is our customer. She was in Concord, California. Her name was Mary.
Yeah.
And spent hours and hours and hours and hours on the phone with her, but great lady, super
We
smart.
went to go visit her.
Oh,
in
yes,
person.
we did. She's the one that said, "Hey, Matt, have you ever heard about industrial hemp?" I said, "No." So I looked into it, found a local supplier near us at the time in North Carolina. The rest is history. But here's what I love about our business. We always say we have the best customers. Our customers come up with the best ideas. My favorite thing to do is to figure out the solution. Like the same lady came up with the idea of our hen house doors now that it's 2 doors in one. And I was like, that is a great idea. I just had to figure out how to make it work. So yeah, I mean, the story is that the customer, she just suggested it and the way it comes.
I mean, that's all I've got for the week.
All
Oh,
right.
I have a question.
Where's
Do you
the
have
guys
any,
in the background?
do you have any shop gossip? Anything exciting going around in the shop?
Nobody cares about shop gossip. My God, we don't need to get into that and our
Oh, there's
problems.
too much.
Unless
There's
you're another
always
person that
something.
works somewhere and you're like, oh, it's not only us.
But last time I think you said that maybe Dave got a haircut or something like that. Or,
Dave never got a haircut.
He needs
Oh,
a
never
mullet.
got a haircut.
He would have the best mullet in the world. All right, well, we have some quick questions. I want to stick to.
there must be some good stuff.
No,
That was
there
a-
is. Oh my God, there's their gossip.
It's
It's-
worse than when I was working in the service industry.
You wouldn't believe what we go through. In house,
It's very dramatic.
it's so dramatic.
Wow,
It's,
It's
I
so
asked the right
dramatic.
question and I didn't even know. I just thought, we
I
don't have a
feel
lot of
like-
material this week, so and I love the
It's-
behind the scenes stuff.
It's certainly like comparable to to bartending at the local dive bar.
anyways, people don't want to hear about our gossip.
But
They want to
that's
hear
the way.
about our chicken
Oh, come on.
knowledge.
Isn't there one thing PG?
I don't think I can say.
PG-13.
Oh my gosh! So wait, hold on. We got breaking news. Fisher Matt Ryan says there's an earthquake right now in, I'm gonna assume
California.
Southern California. Hope everyone's all right out there. I'm not sure how severe. I mean, they get them all the time, just like we get snowstorms in New York. So we're like, eh. But I can't imagine the whole earth shaking all of a sudden.
We got some good questions, too.
Yes, let's get to the
Okay.
questions. I love the comments. Mackenzie, you're next. You're coming down. I
Yes.
need you here. The time is ready. We have so many things to get in line for purchasing materials here, and I can't wait. We are so close. We are so close to start production and be able to pass along the savings from all the efficiency we are mastering and what Mackenzie does best, going out there, price shopping, finding the best materials for the best price so we can pass that along. But we are ready for you. Your office is ready to go. You have your extension. The IT guy just set up your phone. So have a great weekend, Mackenzie.
I will. You guys have a
Kenzie.
good weekend too.
Thanks.
See you soon.
Bye.
I could
Bye.
use some water. If anyone's
too.
listening out in the main office,
me
I
to
could
get
use
it?
some water. This coffee's not cutting it. Huh?
You want me to go get water?
No. You're always trying to get out of. There we go. Oh, look at that. What a great background. We got to tweak the colors a little bit. That was one thing I forgot about that, but that's all right. Don't worry about it. I'm sure we still look okay.
So we had some good questions,
All right, fire away.
and these are now questions.
Yeah, I would love to talk about if we can hit some that people are coming in. Like I
Right.
saw one asking about if we're getting a discount at the lumberyard.
Yeah.
No.
No.
I don't know if anyone is. I mean, I can tell you right now, I just got off the phone. We are looking at purchasing our own metal rolling machine so we can roll our own panels. Metal now has officially doubled in
For the
price.
roofing, you mean?
The metal, I'm sorry, metal roofing, yes.
I know. I got a quote for a metal roof. I should have, and they said you should have done that a year ago.
It's, there's no price
Thank
is insane.
Doesn't help.
It's pricing of materials is insane. We're doing everything we can to not raise prices. I'm using it as a reason to be smarter, and we
There
may.
is something going on because I've had 2 Sawyers even come to me. One came to my house yesterday asking if he could buy trees off me.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
I hear Nan coming in with some water.
See?
Oh, there's Nan or Nan. You want to come in and say hi to everyone real quick? How's your day? Casual Friday.
Casual Friday is great.
Oh,
Yeah, come
thank-
around. Come around. Say hi.
Come say hi real quick. Nan or everyone. Nan bringing me
It's so
water.
nice.
She's the best.
Sweating your weight here.
Yeah.
I have lost so much weight. For the people that have commented how fat and out of shape I got, well, you know what? Thank you. Motivation. Speaking of that, hold on. Did we ever hear from our Karen from last week?
No, she's not gonna. She's got her own. She's got
Okay.
a host of problems to deal with.
All right,
on her
enough of
own.
that.
Oh, we
All the other Karens.
Yeah. So here's a good question. I want to leave my windows open at night on my chicken coop, but don't want to expose them to heavy mosquito infestation where I live in Ohio. Should I worry or not?
I'm just gonna be like,
Are mosquitoes a problem for?
I'm sweating too. You just can't see it. Sorry.
No,
That's okay.
I'm listening.
Okay. So she
Mosquitoes?
wants to leave her hen house doors open, the windows open. Is there a problem with mosquitoes?
I wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't think so. I have never seen any evidence of that. I've never seen chickens bothered by mosquitoes.
No, if anything, that's your midnight snack.
Wait, what do you think, Ingrid?
I
Have you
don't
ever
think
seen-
so. No, I leave. I mean, everything's open. I have everything as open
I
as
think
possible.
the air circulation would be far more important than worrying about mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Let me say this about mosquitoes. Can't
Oh,
help
bug
it.
guy. We need like an intro, like a.
We
little,
need the
like,
extra.
Yeah, we need bug guy music.
There
bug
is-
guy music. Yeah.
There is something that drives me nuts when we start talking about
Yeah, yeah.
mosquitoes. When people are like,
Matt was formerly an exterminator.
when people are like, you know, well, okay, hold on. It is true. Some people are gonna be, they're gonna be bitten more than others. It has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with the perfume
Yeah,
you're
I
wearing.
got
It has nothing to
some.
do if you're male or
Oh,
female. It has
here's
nothing to do with
one.
that.
Yeah.
What you got to understand when you're
driving me
dealing with
crazy.
mosquitoes is they're not a pest until they bite you. And then the reason why they're biting you is because you're a food source. They have to know you're the food source by knowing you're a mammal. There's 2 things us as mammals give off, CO2 and heat image. So when people are breathing a lot, exhaling a lot of CO2, you're going to be attracting more mosquitoes. Number 2, if you went under a thermal camera, there are people that just, their image is, you can see it's a lot warmer than others. And Nan, for example, she'll get bit in the middle of winter in upstate New York. It is nuts. But that is the truth about what attracts mosquitoes. So with that said, my question would be, now I'm thinking out loud, is, the heat image of a chicken has got to be huge, but they're not a mammal. but they're giving
are
off
a
CO.
mammal.
Oh well, yeah.
No, they're
No, they're a
They're a
bird.
bird.
But
They're not.
that's
They're
still
not.
mammals.
no birds are not mammals.
Right.
Mammals drink milk from their mother.
And give live birth, have hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. But they have blood like mammals, is what I was going to say. So, but my question is, because they're not mammals, I'm wondering if the mosquitoes can ever decipher the difference, because I'm assuming the heat image off of chickens is quite high, if not more, because chickens are pretty warm. Number two, they're got to be exhaling CO2. But I have never seen mosquitoes feeding on chickens when technically they could. They go right to the comb.
Oh, they're out there all the time with
Right.
the chickens. Yeah.
You know, they're ectoparasitic, so are ticks.
I seems like I read in a chicken book that they do bother chickens, but
So, great question. I would, if anything, if I was a chicken,
I'm gonna go get the chicken book.
get the chicken book.
Get the chicken book.
This reminds me, when I was a child, I love when things are taught to you as a child. I'll never forget why I was in my parents' lawyer's office. I don't know. But I was a little guy just in awe. I was like, wow, he's a lawyer. I'll never forget him stop. He got up from his desk, turned around, and went to grab a book. And he stopped and turned around, looked at me, and goes, always go to the book. Never forget that, Matthew. And I never forgot it. So, yes, go to the book. So I appreciate that, Kristen. All right, so what's another question?
So Mike Trapp was worried about onions and garlic for chickens, and I don't think they even eat that.
Especially if there's nothing else. But I don't think they're huge fans of it. But here's the deal. I have been told that if you feed them onions and garlic, that you could potentially taste that in the eggs.
Yeah, especially a lot of garlic.
All right,
people.
so we're going to give some shout out. All right, so you went and grabbed two. Oh, look what I found. Okay, nobody knows. Well,
Oh,
look
I
at
don't even really
the blue
use it.
screen and the green screen. Oh my gosh, I've
You
been
know, I
reading
got to
this.
run through the air conditioned offices. That was really exhilarating.
For my visual
You
snow.
should do it.
If you've ever had a hard time reading black and white, which I do, blue transparency sheet. Anyways, so two great books. Love these books. If
You
you're-
don't have the chicken health book
I
that we
absolutely
both
do.
ordered. I didn't see
Absolutely
it
do.
on
There's
your
a whole
shelf.
shelf of.
And
I
I wanna-
love this one, Raising Chickens. It's Stories Guide to Raising Chickens. Love this book.
That's the one I've read. I've read.
Yeah,
cover
you're
to
like,
cover.
I've read it 5 times, man. And then of course, Chicken for Dummies. Just I think great books.
I have that one. I got that before I got my chickens.
Which one? Chicken for Dummies. There's Chicken Diseases for Dummies. I like it because it's easy reading. It's bullet pointed
Yeah.
for the most part. All right. Well, while Kristen's looking that up,
Okay, how about with are there any plants or weeds that grow in the yard that are toxic or unsafe for the birds to eat? Will I know not to eat it if I throw it in there for them?
Toxic plants. What do you think, Ingrid?
I don't.
She's
Okay, so
a- she's much better
apparently
with
they're
plants.
apparently chickens are not supposed to have nightshade plants, which are tomatoes and peppers. But they don't tend to eat tomatoes. I've tried to give them tomatoes; they don't like them.
I'm telling you again. I agree. Chickens seem to know what they want and don't want.
Yeah.
And when you're feeding them things, pay attention. It's like your child, you know. You're not gonna. Well, we don't force our kids to eat something they don't want.
Yeah. So like potatoes and stuff, like raw potatoes aren't good. Raw potatoes aren't good for pretty much any animal. So those are all nightshade plants. But there are plants that are really good for chickens. Like I put comfrey in my chicken yard.
Oh, yes, I want some comfrey.
And of course, you know what comfrey is.
Yes.
Comfrey is
Everyone should have that.
Yeah, it's a great pollinator plant. It's good fertilizer, and the chickens love it. And I didn't know that.
It's
now they're-
medicinal as well.
Yes, it's good
What a
for
great
heat.
shot there. Just wanted to mention that. I miss my beard a little bit.
But it's they call it a knot bone or bone knot because it helps to heal.
So I
bones.
get the answer here is some things that are beneficial, not so much what you wouldn't feed them, but you are saying there's a lot of things that you could feed them that they won't eat. And I didn't know tomatoes were part of the nightshade because I can tell you, just going from my Boy Scout days, first thing I think of when weeds or things like that is nightshade. I mean, that's just drilled into you when you're a Boy Scout, even worse than poison ivy.
Well, and peppers and tomatoes are nightshade plants. But yeah, we eat
None
the
of
fruit.
the books had mosquitoes, even mentioned. They had flies, all kinds of different things.
So that is a great question. If we can remember, we do have plans to bring on a poultry veterinarian, right?
Yeah.
And that would just be a good question.
She wrote the chicken health book.
And that, wait a minute, that is why I have the chicken health book, because she is the author.
Yeah, we both ordered it at the same time, and
It's somewhere around here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's a great question.
Here's one from Francine, our friend Francine with the beautiful
Yes,
Coops.
hi Francine, how are you doing?
I let my butt.
Your
I let my. Sorry, I didn't get a lot of sleep.
Look at the mountains of California. Beautiful.
I let my Buff Orpington, who went broody, sit on eggs after seeing you guys hatch the chicks. She's sitting on the eggs in the nest box. Once they hatch, how will the babies get down the ladder?
They just do, but
They
I'll
do.
never forget.
They do.
I want to say it was in your chicken coop. Was it yours? She carried them. Do you remember that? Wasn't
yeah,
it your coop?
Yeah.
She carried them.
My Buff, I thought I was gonna use the nest box as a brooder, so I took all the dividers out. And after being broody, I guess she was broody for like 24 days. She was like, I've had enough. And all of a sudden, they were all out. The babies followed her down and everything. I don't know how they got out, but they were in the run.
I would even say, even
After
if
hours.
they tumble a little bit, they're gonna be okay.
Yes.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
The
And
thing is-
what sometimes I have had them. She typically doesn't take them out right away after they hatch. They'll eat food and water in the coop for a little bit, maybe a couple days, 5 days, something. But whenever she feels comfortable, she'll decide to take them down. And sometimes after like 3 days, I'll go ahead and move her at night to the bottom, to the run.
Yeah, mine
And
came
she
out
seems
after
to
like
be
5 hours.
5 hours. See,
Yeah,
chickens
but that
break the rules.
But that was all. But no, in her defense, they were already like
Her defense.
they were like day old chicks I put under her, so or
Okay.
2 day old chicks, so they weren't babies.
well,
She
maybe
had-
she knew.
yeah,
It's just incredible. It is just
The instincts of
I love it.
chickens it's just
Well,
fascinating.
not only chickens, just motherhood in general. It's
And
still just mind-boggling to me how it's just so important to listen to your instincts.
So Kyle says he doesn't have a problem with mites, but is there something I should use preemptively to ward them off? And he uses pine shavings.
Okay, so to me, the key word is should. Should you? I don't know. Again, from being an exterminator, I am a fan about prevention, but
used to be an exterminator.
that should be it. That should be it. And you
We'll
know,
record that after
the
this.
best prevention is through our practices. But if you want to switch to you can use a pesticide as a prevention, but I would say right now, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
What
Don't.
about putting diatomaceous earth in the bedding?
Well, see, then there's conflict about the effects of diatomaceous earth if you're using a deep litter, but if you're using pine shavings, I know people that have used diatomaceous earth in the deep litter system. I don't think it still caused them any problems. But I would say if it's not broke, you don't need to fix it, but you can use things, especially if it's on the organic side of things, as a preventative. But
Don't mites like to live on a host though? They don't live
it
in
depends on the type of mite.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to dust the corners of my coop, but that was in the very beginning when I was a little more attentive to every detail.
Right.
And since then, I've kind of gone the more natural route to just let them do their thing, and I haven't had any problems.
Right. As long as the chickens have the ability to take a dust bath, I think.
But I wouldn't dust the chickens.
No. Don't, what another. Oh, that was a great day.
George Costanza picture.
I think that's actually. I think I said that. I think
Yeah.
there's a video somewhere when we did that photo. So who asked that question? I forgot the
I'm
name.
sorry.
No, it's fine. I hope that answers it. I would say you don't have to. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
But it probably wouldn't hurt if you wanted to do a couple things, and that would be diatomaceous earth and maybe dusting the corners. But I did read an article this week about dusting your chickens that shows up in the eggs 21 days later.
Yeah.
Like
Don't-
that does stay with them, and it shows up in the eggs. So I wouldn't do that. And if you do, wait a long time.
Disney uses chickens to track mosquitoes carried diseases. Well, now that is fascinating. I have never heard that. And actually, back in my exterminator days, Disney was one of our customers, and we started this huge mosquito program. So Anyways, that's fast. That's great to hear. I love when an animal has a job. I love that.
So, yes, Victory Begins in the Garden asked, did we monetize our channel? And yes, we did.
How is that going? I
didn't look at the.
Have
said
we made
I'm
enough money to get pizza?
I think so.
I hope I have enough.
Like
money.
in elementary
Or,
school,
or a
if you
new
were
shirt
good,
for Matt.
in elementary school, if you were good for the whole like 6 months, you got a class pizza party.
So
This
well,
show isn't monetized, but some of the videos are monetized.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do want to fulfill my promise. I actually forgot all about that. We did that, and I want to say YouTube made that mandatory, right? For
Yeah,
all.
now YouTube says that they will run ads regardless. So we were just a little bit ahead of the game.
So let's report back next week,
Okay.
as long as we're doing a show. There's another great shot. Ingrid, you did a great job on this video.
Oh, those are Ingrid's chickens. Those
I
are
know.
she's so good at capturing chickens and plants
I wanted
and getting
to-
them tattooed onto her skin. I mean, it's just I mean, that's full circle, right?
I want to donate the money to a good cause, and my idea is that someone could
You mean like Kristen Warren?
could
Yeah.
nominate. Maybe there's an animal shelter somewhere in this country that could just use the help for a good reason. I don't want to just. I think it'd be fun to have it have a reason or something out there, especially when it's animal related.
And a pizza party?
Look, there's Midge.
We do pizza parties all the time. All right, so
I'm
we're
not invited.
We're already halfway through the show, and if you are still hanging out with us, I appreciate. Hope you're enjoying it. We are coming to you live from our shop in North Carolina. It is Friday. If you're watching this and it's not Friday, you are watching a recorded version, but you can still leave questions and comments down below. And also, if you weren't here in the beginning of the show, I did ask everyone, if you haven't already, please say hi in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from.
Victory Begins in the Garden also says control water on your property. I know that you've said that when I've asked your professional advice on mosquitoes. And I noticed that just the condensation drain from my air conditioning system has mosquitoes in it right now. Like it's a puddle on the ground. And it has
Complete
mosquitoes.
metamorphosis. Egg larva people,
yeah.
adult. Do not let water sit around long enough so they can complete all 4 stages. So I want to say it's 8 days, if I remember correctly, from egg to adult. So if the mosquito lays an egg,
That's not
hatches
right.
into a larva, other people call them wigglers, whatever, and then they got to pupate. You want to make sure they dry out so they never pupate, they never become an adult, okay? So make sure, if you're dealing with mosquitoes, especially up in your gutters, people don't realize this, don't let anything sit around for longer than a week. Same thing with fruit flies, believe it or not. But anyways,
I don't have any fruit flies this year.
What causes
because they're all here. You ought to see them in our kitchen, our
I
staff
used
kitchen.
to, last year I had, well, never mind.
So what Kathy Stark asks, what causes pullets to pick feathers and eat them? They are 21 weeks old. They are on 17% good quality feed. I guess that's 17% protein, I would think.
Sometimes they do that when they're crowded or bored.
Yeah, that's weird that they are eaten.
Chicken to
picking
coop ratio, so important. Younger,
And then once it starts, it could be a habit. I mean, you could say,
Right.
oh, well, I'm going to fix the problem and give them more protein and space and stuff to do, but they've already established that habit. And if that's the case, then it takes a little bit more effort to get them to stop.
Though they want tours of coops, I guess. It was
Tours of
of custom coops. We haven't done a video in a long time.
I promise. I know.
Matt's working
You know,
hard in the
Every
shop.
morning I wake up, it's literally one of the first things I think about is I got to get out there. Once this shop is fully up and running, they don't need me on a daily basis. It's the first thing
yeah,
I'm doing.
if you can't do it, I will. Me and Ingrid will go.
No, Ingrid won't leave. It's a miracle we get her here.
You can take your dogs.
That's what I said. We have so many custom coops to go out that are done. We need the video. We got one of the nicest letters from one of our recent custom coop
Who
customers.
was that person? Was that the?
I don't want to use last names.
No, I know. Which coop was that? Was that the?
See, we refer to all these custom coops as their last name, but it was the one in Malibu. And it's just, you don't see that anymore. A handwritten letter.
Yeah, it was so sweet.
On a beautiful card, and that's awesome. Especially, that's awesome. Love this lady. Love this family. It was a birthday gift for her husband, and let's just say, I mean, her husband could have anything he wants like that. He loves his chicken coop. Like that just means so much to me. I just can't wait to go out there and see him and get a video. I mean, it's just amazing.
Is
So-
that the black and white Craftsman? No. Okay.
No.
I don't know.
It's gray and gray. There's 2 tones of gray.
Okay.
We are doing a replica of this coop here coming up very, very soon.
Really?
Yeah, the coop in Alabama there. We got so much coming up. And we have done so many coops. I have not been out there. I promise the videos will be coming. I have been hell-bent on getting this shop up and running. This started, last October, when you really think about it, right? When we first found this building. Hopefully it pays off here soon.
So Kyle asked, this is a good question, how long would you recommend keeping part of the chicken run sectioned off for little chicks and the bigger chicks before letting them all intermingle? So when you have like a broody or you have small chicks that you have bought, how long do you keep them?
Until they're roughly the same size. What do you think? Ingrid has done this a few times lately. So what do you think?
I'll tell you what, I'm going to have Ingrid sit right here. I'm going to go over there.
Yeah,
No, this is great.
No, I mentioned her ink, so people probably want to see her ink.
No.
I know. I am so jealous. I have not been in the chair
I
in so
think
long.
it's just fabulous that she used pictures from her own garden
That's awesome.
for the
Love
flowers.
It. Love
I
it.
mean,
I think we can switch real quick, Ingrid.
No, it's all right. We're good.
people get tired of seeing us.
Yes.
No, they don't.
I mean, look, I'm embarrassed right now. It's just getting
Yeah,
worse.
oh, you want to run through the air-conditioned offices, don't you? You want to do the loop?
We
Yeah,
got to move
get your
studios, or
other
we got to
shirt.
get the doors on this room. That's the only reason why the AC is not on.
So
But
when
anyways.
I had the broody, I did keep them in a dog crate for a while when they were real little, and then I don't know, maybe when they were 4 weeks, I was just like, they're fine, and because I was afraid she wasn't able to protect them as well, because one of my barred rocks was a little like aggressive, but the mother's really good at protecting them.
And in this case, I don't think there is a mother.
So
Right.
if they're not, then yes, I would keep them till they're roughly the same size. And I mean, Midge still gets picked on, and Bernie gets picked on. Like my smaller ones my bantams get picked on, but
Especially if there's a group of them, too, that
Yeah.
seems to help.
Yes.
If they're not outnumbered terribly.
yeah,
I know the ones that I got this spring, they're pretty much full grown now. I would be perfectly fine with intermingling them.
yeah.
I got squirreled. Sorry, I missed the whole thing. I'm fascinated by something here real quick. Farmer Brad, who is definitely watches us a lot, has a lot of comments out there. It's Coops for Troop ? And I'm wondering if that is an actual organization or if that's a suggestion, because there's a question mark. And I was just thinking Coops for Troops. And just recently, again, I so badly want to do a show with my father and the stories that this man has. It's just unbelievable. Him and Kristen were talking, and isn't it mind-boggling to hear what these troops have gone through?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how he even got the words out. He even said he didn't sleep that night. Like, it's just, words can't fathom what they go through. And I think that would be a lot of fun. If Coops for Troops isn't taken, we need to...
I believe that Brad from Coop Dreams, he does stuff with Coops for Troops.
So there is a Coops for Troops.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's Boy Scouts or if it's regular troops. I'm not sure, but that is an organization.
I think that would be a lot of fun. I think a lot of people would appreciate that, because we always talk about how therapeutic chickens
Yeah.
are. And I've already seen, even my dad won't admit it, but it's even therapeutic for him. And
he
that would
admits
be...
it.
Huh?
He admits it.
Well, you can read between the lines, yes. Oh, boy, we got capital letters. Hold on, Francis. Ballpark, how many coops have you made since you started Carolina Coops?
How many do you make
I
a year?
wish. I remember years ago saying I should put a serial number on every single coop. No idea. I mean, we're well in the thousands and thousands. Who knows?
I actually had those numbers, I think, last year.
Yeah, we were going to ballpark it, but we've changed our books 3 times. Because we thought we had a good bookkeeper. Next thing you know, the next bookkeeper comes in. Oh, we got to start all over. I'm like, yeah, of course we do. I wish we would have kept the number. I am going to say this. I think we're going to do it here. We're going to serialize every single coop that comes out
And they
here.
there should be something that says Carolina Coops. I said that from the beginning.
Oh, yeah,
when I got my coop, you need a plaque on there.
Yeah, the stamp.
Yeah, or
Where's
something.
The stamp?
It's out there.
You use it?
I can't decide on where to put it.
Just
But the other night, I got into my vodka, and I had the idea of branding myself. I was like, that's real hardcore. No, we have that wood burner, and I can't decide
that's
where to
not a
put
good
it.
idea.
What, to brand it?
Yeah.
So Matt says you better come to his house if you go to Malibu. So you got to visit Fish and Matt
Yes, I would
Ryan.
love to visit Fish and Matt Ryan. Want to bring him a T-shirt. Just such a
I wanna
huge fan.
go.
We can go. We can go. You're the one that's so busy. We gotta just figure this out.
Yeah, you wanted me to hold the camera.
Oh
Kristen's
boy,
willing to
there's a
go.
long one. Can we? Let's
Yeah.
change this up. Let's bring up the comments page
Okay.
so people can bring up the
Yeah.
comments. There's a long. Now I'm talking. Now we're talking. Let's get. Look at that. Another beautiful coop. That never existed. That coop does not exist.
HOA?
No.
What? Really?
That coop does not exist. Isn't it look how beautiful this coop is. We can't.
Figment of your imagination.
Does not exist.
It's a
I do
prototype.
not have
It's
chickens.
a prototype coop.
Oh, dude! And I tell you, I can't help but remember the one that did burn down in Calistoga. And he is looking for a new
Yeah,
coop,
he
right?
did. Yeah.
Yeah. Have we gotten back to him?
Yeah, of course I got back to him.
Perfect. Are we doing a coop for him?
He said he wanted to do something first.
Perfect.
I don't know.
Good.
Sandblast some more dynamite
Yeah,
in
I
another
forgot
area.
what he said.
If you can make it just a little bit bigger, so
It was
everyone
something
can...
like he wants to recover from the fire a little bit longer, but it's in his plans.
Awesome. There we go.
Okay,
There we go.
I'm still like the scrolling. Okay.
I know. I think I'm gonna get a wireless mouse over here so I can control it too.
I would like to move the screen over just a little bit so we look kind of shifty-eyed when we're constantly looking over there.
I know, but then I can't see Ingrid. So what I think
Yeah,
I
we
might
can
do
do a
is
little
put it
bit.
up above Ingrid. Well, then we're looking up there. Anyways, okay. So, what is that name? Alyssa?
Yes. Alyssa Santana. Do you want me to read it or do you
Yes,
want to
please.
read
Well, when I, because I know I don't want to keep talking. When
Okay.
I pause, you can go ahead.
it? We have 11 hens that had a big run bin,
Big bit.
big bin until my husband could get our coop done. Took longer than anticipated, of course. Anyway, I woke up one morning and one of our hens being pecked raw and bleeding on her back. I separated until she was completely healed, hoping that when we moved the hens back to their permanent coop, they'd be okay. They still pick on her in their permanent coop. There's 3 that tend to initiate the pecking, and they all go after her. She goes back up into the hen house. They don't bother her there. She needs to be able to come into the run without me being there. They don't tend to bother her when they're all in the hen house either. So my husband finally got the coop done. We have a run that's 10 feet by 30 feet, and the hen house is 10 by 5.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just described, where they've got a habit established, even though they're in a wonderful coop but with plenty of space. That's really impressive, actually. They're still picking on her. We've all had either a mean girl or just one that gets the top of the pecking order, or maybe one that's way on the bottom. I don't have a good solution for changing that other than sometimes you have to change up the dynamic. Sometimes you have to maybe give away that one. I mean, I've had to give away from my initial first or second generation flock a mean one. She was just so mean, and whoever I gave her to said that she was not mean over there.
Because she
So-
probably started at the bottom.
Right. So that is really heartbreaking that hen is getting picked on.
So what, you're saying to get rid of the one that's on top of the
That's
pecking
a
order because it says
horrible-
there are 3 that tend to initiate the pecking, so you get rid of the 3. But I think the key thing is
No.
you change it up.
Yeah, I would see if you can get a really good home for. I don't know.
She could also get 2 more chickens, and then they would be on the
more
bottom.
chickens. That's fabulous.
Right? So you get 2 or 3 more, and now the dynamic has completely changed because now that one that's being pecked on
That's even
is
better.
now got someone else to pick on. It changes the whole dynamic when you bring new ones
Right,
in.
and then you don't get rid of the poor little one who's already traumatized.
Right.
And it's probably going to be traumatized in their new place too. So I like that a lot better. More chickens. That's
Chicken
always the
nap.
answer. I don't know why I didn't think of it.
I know. It's
Yeah.
surprising.
Yeah.
Oh, we got another person, Nikki Waggoner. If I said
Wagner.
that right. I'm horrible at
Wagner.
No, this is Waggoner.
Wagon.
Wagoneer?
Wagoner. Sorry.
Wagner.
I don't know.
Hello from Montgomery, Texas. How do you expect the move of your shop to affect production for existing orders? I'm just a little bit excited to get mine. Well, so thank you for your business. So it's not a move. We're splitting it up, but we are moving the production coops to come down. And again, I went on record, was it last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, and we are still in awe that if everything goes the way we are seeing it happen out there, we should have a coop done in 15 minutes. What that means for the lead time, I don't know. I can tell you our current lead time, we're gonna get caught up.
Yeah, you're gonna get caught up.
We're gonna get caught up fast, but we have major plans of what we're gonna be able to do because of our efficiency. And I want to, and that's a word I got to get in the habit of using. I was talking to someone, another business owner. He said, Matt, stop saying mass production because mass production sends the wrong message. And I couldn't agree more because we're not changing a damn thing when it comes to quality. If anything, it's going to continue to get better. He said, you're increasing your efficiency. And that is so true in ways that I never thought were possible. And that's
efficiency and output, yeah.
Yes, and it's going to keep the cost of the coop down, especially with materials. I mean, there's just no end in sight. The cost of materials are just, it's disturbing, absolutely disturbing, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, by the way, it's Wagner.
The
I was right.
Wagner?
I was right.
Oh,
She
you're
said
always
it.
right.
I know.
You know,
The
I
wood
like it when
burner
other
is in New
people are
York, I
right.
believe. No, the wood burner is here. Yeah, I went around stamping everything. Mackenzie said, no, it's here. It's sitting out on the shelf. I was playing with it the other night.
I have some actual questions that
Yes,
we didn't
fire
get to
away.
from last week.
So let's change up the comments. Let's go back to I don't know. I kind of like that idea of hold on. We do. Oh, that's not bad. Do we have YouTube Chicken Police this week,
No.
or did we got into it
we
too
exhausted it last week.
much? All right, let's fire away.
Oh, this I thought was a really good question, and I actually looked it up because I wanted to answer it on YouTube. But Walter Leon said, "Is it bad to feed your chicks medicated feed if they were vaccinated?" And I actually looked this up because
Yeah,
I was
would
curious.
know.
So when they're vaccinated, they're usually actually I shouldn't say that. When the medicated feed helps them to fight coccidosis, am I saying that right? So and so it's not necessarily needed if they've been vaccinated for coccidosis. However, it's not going to hurt them if they're vaccinated, but it's not necessary. You can just do a regular non-medicated feed if they've been vaccinated for coccidosis.
Seems like that vaccine's kind of new.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean, but
I never
You
have
can
gotten
err
that.
on the side of just feeding them medicated feed
Right. Just in the beginning.
in the beginning to help their little immune system.
Especially in the summer. Early spring, like February, maybe not. It's not so important, but that is really important in the summer when it's hot, humid, and wet. Those are the conditions that coccidosis thrives.
See?
Hold on, look at Toothless Bulldog 2.0, my favorite breed, the English Bulldog. Welcome to the show. He says, great stream. I don't think I've seen that person. Well, there's actually a lot of new. That would be awesome if we could do shout outs or something to new viewers. If you're watching the show for the first time, I would love it if you let us know and maybe how you came across it. 'Cause we got to build this show. Just want to put that out there. Sorry, I'm always thinking business, but I miss my little piggy, my English Bulldog.
So Alyssa Santana said she liked the idea of more chickens. Because her daughter would be heartbroken to get rid of that chicken.
Yeah, I love that
So
too.
I think that's probably the best to change the pecking order dynamic.
This book has been around forever, and it's just the gold standard.
You have to
Yes.
get that now.
Sue says, can you reference the chicken books? You mentioned it. And we could probably sell these on our website. Like, I feel like we should start getting a little bit of credit for the time we take to share this. But I just love sharing the stuff that we know works for us.
I
We
get
want
it.
to educate.
And this is like good, solid, old-fashioned, advice. It's not when was that written? I mean, it's like.
And if you educate yourself
But we
with
re-
good knowledge, you'll
Yeah.
realize why we do what we do.
Also because
I guess it's 1995.
these books are important because there's so much misinformation on
Yes.
the internet. There
Yeah.
really is. Every time you say something, someone's like, no, you can't do that. Or, yes, you have to do this. So it's good to have a reference.
We need the chicken health book too.
Right. And it is on my bucket list to do our own book. I can't wait
So,
before I die.
so Toothless Bulldog said he was looking at videos on pigeons and your stream was recommended.
Awesome. Well, welcome.
Thank you, YouTube.
God, I love
Pigeons are in my future.
no, pigeons are in my future.
No, I said when all of
No.
my kids move out of the house,
No.
I'm I'm replacing them with pigeons.
Well, we need to
I
start.
mean, not in the house, but that's going to be my new hobby
No,
when
no,
I have
what-
an empty nest.
Oh, see, now I love when I was an exterminator, we had to do a bunch of pigeon work, and we had a gentleman that worked for us that bred and raised pigeons because he raced them. It just blows my
Yeah,
mind. He would take them from New York, mail them down to Tennessee. They let them all go, and they can literally race them to come back, and it scans a band on their leg to register.
I know. Hey, my daughter's 19, and she moved, I don't know, just a few miles away. I'm going to set up a pigeon.
With a camera?
A pigeon pen there, or what are they called?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I haven't started yet. But I'm going to set up one there and at my house so the pigeon can send messages back and forth.
Oh,
or fresh baked
carrier
cookies or whatever.
pigeon.
Yes, carrier pigeons. So,
Carrier
I mean, they all can
Racing
carry.
pigeons.
Yeah, so you take them with you, and wherever you want to send that message back, you just let them go, just like they did in the old days.
Mine
and
will be a lazy one because it only has to go 2 miles.
mark my words, God, it could happen. We may need carrier pigeons again. Okay, sorry. Was that too much? You never
So,
know.
well, whoever was watching the pigeon, toothless bulldog.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's into pigeons. Maybe he
Yes.
can teach us something.
Yeah.
Some people just watch our videos. They're not even interested in chickens. They're
I
just
know.
Like they just happen upon it, and then they get drawn in by the giant coop, which we
And
love.
those type of people would like to know the shop gossip.
Well, everyone likes to know the shop gossip.
No, are you serious? The shop gossip? No.
Here's a question. Remember when you did the Alabama coop with the American Alabama with that lady?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So someone asked, would she be able to use Spanish moss as a filler for her nesting boxes? Because there was Spanish moss hanging from the trees when you were in that video.
See, I don't know, but and this is the northern part of me.
Yeah.
And you're probably already about to say it. I have been told Spanish moss harbors chiggers incredibly. Now, I don't know if that's...
No.
No, okay. I
Chiggers
was
don't
told,
hang
don't
from
touch
trees.
that. I don't know. See, I'm not familiar with chiggers.
You're such a yank.
It is such a southern thing.
I thought you were a bug guy.
Yeah, I was a northern bug guy for the record. I did work a little bit up and down the East Coast, did a ton of time
Have you
in
ever had
Washington.
chiggers?
Chigger
bites?
I think once, and it was my first year I moved to North Carolina, but I wouldn't really know.
Have you, Ingrid?
No.
So I don't know.
I get bitten by everything else, but not chicken.
Here's
my
what I can
goodness.
tell you is I used a lot of Spanish moss in decorating our reptile enclosures and never had an issue, but that was store bought where they probably disinfect it.
I would
Right.
say it would be okay. I mean,
Yeah.
try it.
I
I mean,
like
you're
what you
using all
use.
kinds of stuff in your testing facility, right?
Yes.
I
Which
like what you
I can't
use.
wait to
That
get back
hay. Was it?
I use coastal hay.
coastal hay. I like that. The chickens like that.
Yeah. Really, they'll nest on the ground.
I had one lay an egg in a nest box I just built and it was still sitting on my table. So I
Oh,
went
yeah.
to lunch,
Yeah.
came back, she hopped out. Sure enough, there's an egg in there.
Mine did an egg under the shade cloth by my rain barrel. I think she got stuck in the rain yesterday.
Hold on. Racing pigeons are getting lost more than ever. Earth's magnetic field is diminishing and causing the birds' navigation problems.
Yeah, I just read an article about like there was some big race and half of the pigeons, like 1,500, went missing in England.
Hold on. Earth's magnetic field is diminishing.
Or
So-
there could be something else going on.
Well,
All of the
it changes and flips. And that's where all hell's going to break loose, where the inside of the Earth spins inside, and then the
Yeah.
crust will slowly catch up. And that's kind of what changes everything on this planet.
wow.
Chaffin said so.
Okay.
I'll never forget that. But is that what's going? I would love to know that.
It could be 5G.
Oh, it could be 5G.
Here's a question: is it okay to breed Wyandottes to Easter eggers?
Yes.
You do all the
Because
time.
Easter
don't you?
eggers are a mix, right? And isn't there a whole way of breeding when you're taking a mix for
they're-
egg color? I mean, obviously it's good.
They're not necessarily a mix, but their feathers don't breed true. Like they don't have a standard feather pattern color. They're bred for the egg color.
Right.
So they have a lot of variety in how they look. But I wouldn't have any trouble breeding any chicken to any other chicken.
Yeah.
It's like having a mutt dog. You might end up with something that's really fabulous.
Amazing. Does would you use linoleum for flooring in the coop,
Ah, finally, a coop question. Thank you.
or would it not work out long term?
is a master coop builder.
We do have sound effects. We never use the sound effects. That's what we need next, Ingrid. So we got Ingrid, the producer, handling everything, and then you got to have someone just doing the sound effects. I think that would be a lot of fun. No, I do. I hate linoleum in chicken coops.
Why?
Layers. Pests love layers.
And moisture gets under there.
And then you're trapping the moisture, which a lot of pests love. It provides that perfect harborage area where it traps in the humidity, but it's not too wet. Eliminate
It would be
layers.
very difficult to seal that completely.
You do not
But-
use linoleum.
So that's a great question, and because
So,
people would
I
think
love it.
people would
yeah,
think to
just
do
bare
that.
plywood
I'll just
would
take
be
any
better.
coop question at this point. I mean, I'm glad people have chicken questions. I mean, again, I'll have Ingrid come over here. I do not use linoleum. I know a
Which
lot of.
pigeons carry coconuts again?
Wait, what?
Mike Trapp said, which pigeons carry coconuts again? That's from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
I've never seen it. But you've dressed up and won a competition.
Yes,
At just so you know.
yes. And we
Fun
had
facts.
a Quaker parrot with fake coconuts.
5G is affecting the birds and the bees. How? Let us see. I love this stuff. Oh, come on.
No, it could be. I mean,
You-
there's a lot of things
5G's
we don't know.
insane. There's so many things we don't know. They told us back in the 60s cigarette smoking was good.
I mean, radio waves. There's all sorts
Yeah.
of stuff out there that electromagnetic fields that could mess with.
I think
the-
pesticides are affecting the
pesticides
birds and the
Horrible.
bees
Yeah.
more.
Pesticides are it's
We
why I
just
got out of
don't
the
know.
business. It is so bad and how they push it. Oh, it's awful.
Do you have any customers in Europe? And Martin said he comes from Germany, and he's thrilled by your coops.
Yes, 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 and yes. But it is very expensive to ship over to Europe. So we have done a couple options. We've taken where our coop is normally in panels and consolidated the entire coop back down to a full kit. So it's packed nice and dense, so you get a better rate. And it's stackable and it's smaller, so it's more affordable to ship. But I can tell you what I plan on doing, what we have realized. And I haven't looked into this in a while, but we were not allowed to travel outside of the country anymore. Australia has come up a lot where they want us to go there. And I said, listen, it's going to be a lot more affordable for us just to fly there with our most important tool, and that's our brain, and use all the tools and the materials there. So even in Europe, I would love that opportunity to be able to go over there and build a coop from scratch. And I think that's going to be a lot more affordable. We have definitely shipped over to Europe.
Here's a question for Matt. I would like to know who taught Matt how to build those wonderful coops he produces.
You want me to answer that for you?
I don't have an answer.
Yes, you do.
I think your dad and YouTube.
And the guy on PBS.
Yeah.
Like, where was your inspiration to start building?
Your dad has taught you so
Well, see,
much.
that's the blockhead in me. So the question is, where did we learn to build such great coops? Where did you learn to build? That's just the blockhead. Where did I learn to build? Oh, God, yeah. My father, YouTube, love Roy Underhill. Oh, my gosh. The things that Roy Underhill on PBS, right in Pittsburgh, North Carolina, it's amazing. The things he would teach from a woodworking point of view, tons of YouTube videos. I would just learn as much as I could about woodworking and go out and actually practice it.
And then how did that evolve to the chicken coops when you built your own coop?
Listening to the customers and just figuring out.
And Matt never stops. He is always working, always improving things.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a great. Who asked that question?
And not very many people do that.
Toothless.
I don't know. My father does. My God.
Yeah, you
can't-
two are very unique. And that is why there is the level of craftsmanship and the level of perfection.
Yep.
Well, that's. I hope that. Yeah.
He
Dia,
said, he
yeah.
said your coops are very inspirational. And that's you and Evan as
Yes,
well.
and Evan too.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you know, and I that's why I can't. I wish we were all underneath this one building. There's so much credit due to Evan and everyone that's a part of this organization.
It takes a village.
We are going to become our own village. People think I'm crazy. I'm telling you, we're going to start our own little village next door in the commune.
All right, it's after 1. Do you want to keep going? Or you want to keep
Yeah,
sweating?
absolutely. No, we are good. I've stopped sweating. I sweated everything out.
Okay.
If we have any more questions or comments, yeah, let's do them real quick. If not, no, we can finish up. I know we got lunch is coming soon.
I'm trying to find.
3D printers. What about 3D printers? I love 3D printers. Sell the plans. I promise.
Can you build a coop with a 3D printer?
You can build anything nowadays with 3D printer. You're going to start 3D printing your food.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Oh, there was one guy that asked the best coop style for the Finger Lakes area and the best breeds.
I'm sorry,
He-
one more time.
He wanted the best coop style for the Finger Lakes area in New York, which you're familiar with.
That's where I'm from. See, that question. One of the things about our chicken coops is I always tell people it's a one size fits all, and it doesn't really matter if it's a custom coop or a production coop. If you look at a custom coop and a production coop, you're going to see the same thing, the same theme, the same DNA. A solid roof run, high quality materials. We use the same type of lumber. So our coops are already designed to go anywhere on this planet. So there's nothing really that makes the Finger Lakes any different than if it was Arizona we got coops up in Alaska. And I've even learned places like Alaska have less of a snow load than we do in Western New York.
Wow.
You know, we build them to be able to go anywhere. I think there was a part 2 to that question.
And the best breeds for the Finger Lakes.
You can get away with any breed.
I agree.
Yeah.
So Vicky asked, how is the amount that it costs to have a Carolina Coops install a coop calculated? Part of it is
Yes, I
the
have no clue.
mileage
Yeah.
from where they start, whether it's in New York or here, to where the coop's being installed, correct?
Mileage and
Cost.
travel expenses.
Okay, so you got miles, and believe it or not, a lot of people don't
Per
realize this.
diem.
I have legalities. I have to legally pay these guys a per diem based on that state to pay for pay up to a certain amount for their meals. Haircuts are not included, or alcohol or cigarettes. They try to slip them in. Good job, Christy out there. I'm not sure if she's listening. She's caught it. She caught someone trying to expense a haircut. Ugh, called it a salad. Anyways,
What's going on in that
the
hair
miles,
that barber shop?
what is the amount how is the amount that it costs to have Carolina? It's miles, the type of coop you have, and
Whether or not you're there versus
the staff,
the crew.
the staff that we're gonna send. If it's a custom coop, I have to send guys out that are able to handle that level, and then I got the crew that they just know these production coops in and out. We do a ton of American coop installs, and they can do it 4 hours, which takes most people, we usually say a weekend
Yeah.
to put together.
And I think it's important to mention why we don't mention the price of our custom coops,
So
because it's really not it's not fair to us. It's obviously not fair to the customer to broadcast what they paid for a coop. But there's so many variables just in the on-site thing. And sometimes there's a problem or a storm and you're there for an extra 3 days or something. There's so many variables.
Yes, and I am hell-bent on keeping it as fair as possible for every customer. I have so many vendors, like UPS, for example. They're like, oh, just do a blanket, where some people are going to pay, everyone's going to pay the same, but some people could have gotten it cheaper based on where they live. You know what I mean? It's just little things like that. There's just so many variables. I don't have a problem paying our staff to figure out, even if it's a production coop, here's exactly how much it's going to cost for your specific area. We do everything we can so that you see how great the value is in your purchase.
So Simon says, Matt, your coops are like Kristen, super practical and beautiful to look at.
Oh, boy, you got quite the fan base coming on.
That's so nice. I don't hear that often, so I appreciate that. Genuinely. Thank you.
And the Toothless Bulldog said, Matt, your legacy as a coop producer is going to last for generations and families that hire you.
Thank you. I like this new Toothless Bulldog guy. You're awesome.
Yeah, he's great. He's a fan already.
Well, we love everyone. But yeah, definitely, I never thought about that. I would love to know who's new here, because we do want to build this audience. I don't want to keep doing this show and not be able to build the audience. So
Yeah, and we have an interview next week, which I think is going to be nice. I love hearing from other people, too.
Yeah.
I think that's... Because I learn stuff. Every time we have somebody on, I learn something.
Oh, absolutely. And then the other thing is, which I know is a touchy subject, is the time slot for this show. This has definitely worked out well. Okay, Ingrid's like, don't even say Sunday. I would love to know people's opinions on if the weekend would be better, that we have more of an audience.
You know what they say about opinions, though?
Everyone's
They're like
got one?
assholes. Everyone has one or something. Right?
Wait, I forgot to bleep you for that.
Sorry. No, that's not the bleep. Anyways, all right. So any more questions?
I think we got to most of them.
All right.
And it's hot in
It
here.
is hot in here. It is lunchtime. Nan is making lunch for everyone today, so make sure you stick
so
around.
nice.
Kristen, thank you for being here and
You're
sweating it
welcome.
out. Ingrid, thank you so much for staying behind the camera and operating the show. You guys are the best. And for all our viewers out there, thank you so much for your questions, your time. And please come back and see us next Friday at noon, unless we do change the time to Sunday at 9 a.m.
No. 9 a.m.
Oh, you're insane.
You guys have a great weekend out there. Thanks for watching.
Okay. Goodbye.